solve for x stating any domain restrictions. So here again, in this case I do have domain restrictions. So x cannot be 0 or 3 or 2, because those would be values that would make the denominator 0, and that would make the number undefined, which is restricted. So now I have my restrictions, and so now I will solve. So the first thing, I'm adding, so I need a common denominator. So this has an x minus 3, and this just has an x. So the left side needs an x minus 3, the right needs an x, and when I do it to top, or bottom, I need to do it to top. So this becomes 7 times x minus 3 plus 5x all over x times x minus 3 is equal to 84 over x minus 2. Simplifying this, so 7x minus 21 plus 5x all over x minus 3 equals 84 x minus over x minus 2. So the top, 12x minus 21 over x minus 3 is equal to 84 over x minus 2. Now what do I do here? Well, some might say, oh, we'll get a common denominator, but I have a proportion here, which means 12x minus 21 over x times x minus 3 must be the same as 84 over x minus 2. So one of the common methods here, people know is cross multiply, which basically just is a simplification method. And so when I cross multiply, I get 12x minus 21 times x minus 2 is equal to 84 times x squared minus 3x. So notice here, I'm probably going to end up with a quadratic. So I get 12x squared minus 24x minus 21x plus 42 is equal to 84x squared minus 252x. So let's see what we can do with this now. So I'm going to subtract, let me pick a different color, subtract 12x squared from both sides. So I get minus 45x plus 42 is equal to 72x squared minus 252x. Now I can add 45 to both x to both sides. And I like to do all this in one step, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm doing it in many. So negative 207x, and I would subtract 42 from both sides, minus 42 is equal to 0. And now this is a problem I can solve in a variety of ways. I could graph it, I could use the quadratic formula, I could try to factor, I could try to see if I could divide out any numbers. You might notice that 3 goes into all of this, so divide everything by 3. Just to simplify your life, so I'll write that over here. So this is 0 equals 24x squared minus 69x minus 14. And so now I could graph this. I could use quadratic formula. I could do a variety of things. So just for demonstration purposes, let's use quadratic formula. X equals the opposite of b plus and minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. So playing that out, b is negative 69, c is negative 14, a is 24. So I have the opposite of b plus and minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times my a value times my c value all over 2 times my a value. So, to compute my discriminant, the thing under the square root, minus 4, the quantity under the square root, I get 69 plus and minus the square root of 6105 all over 48, which I believe is simple enough. Things I could look for, well, it ends in a 5, so maybe I see if 25 goes in, and it doesn't. So that's your solution, 69 plus and minus square root of 6105 over 48. If you want some practical numbers that maybe you could get your head around more easily, it's about 3.065 or just computing it, negative 0.190. So that's roughly what it is, but the exact answer is that. That's a word of caution, right? Just because these numbers seem to be messy and this requires some computation, it doesn't mean these are not legitimate solutions to legitimate problems, and that we should really start to get used to using our computational skills to solve for problems that might not come out as cleanly as we had hoped.